my mom does say that, when kids go through that phase where they're like, I'm going to be a firefighter, or I want to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever,
Mm.
I would say things like, I want to be a poet and a singer.
Oh, that's
And I
lovely.
would say, I want to be a doctor and a singer, or like, a fireman and a singer,
A
but
singer.
always and a singer, even
Singer.
though I lack that confidence to really come forward. And I think I had some moments where I was like, this was a great moment for them to turn their
Hmm.
chair. And I'm like, and then why didn't they turn their chair? So you have to proceed with the song, perform well, interact with the audience, and have all these thoughts. So we got to the end of my song, and I thought, oh my God, they're not going to turn their chairs. I was like, oh,
Okay.
God, really? So I was like, I'm going to end the song so strong. And I thought the audience was responding to me. I was like, yeah, I did this for the blues. And I didn't even realize that they had turned their chairs.
Oh my God, that's
I
that's
didn't even know. So I was like, yay, they love it. Like, yeah.
that's
I've been a bad, bad girl. I've been careless with a delicate man. And it's a sad, sad world when a girl won't break a boy just because she can.
so like Carly, tell us about like when did you realize that singing is one of the career that you want to pursue? Were you always a good singer? Like since you were a child, you realized that singing is what you wanted to do?
I was not always a good singer. I felt it inside, but I was very shy. So
Okay.
I was like, always like humming under my breath and not really like
Hmm.
coming forward. So
Okay.
that really didn't become present until I was like in high school. And like
Hmm.
I got in like the first like musical when I was like a junior in high school, and my choir teacher's like, what is wrong with you? So I always did choirs like throughout school, like as soon as you're old enough. So I think when you're 9, you're old enough to join
Hmm.
choir. So I did like
Okay.
honors choir and all state choir. So I know it was good enough because those aren't choirs you audition for. But um yeah, I had didn't have the confidence. And then one day my choir teacher is like, where did that come from? Because we've been here this whole time. But I did always want to be a musician. So I started out with violin when I was
Hmm.
9. And then soon I became self-taught on
Hmm.
piano and guitar
Hmm.
after that. And both of my parents are musicians. So it was
Oh,
like,
that's lovely. That's lovely.
yeah, never not a thought.
Okay, so you naturally progressed into being a musician and where you are today, and like from you were 9 years old when you joined the choir.
Yes.
You
Yes.
mentioned about that you were always a shy kid, and most of the people they have some sort of a stage fright, which inhibits them from coming to the stage and singing in front of the large audience. So, how did you cope up with that as a young child? It must have been difficult.
Oh, yes, as a child, like, uh, but it's been like a really beautiful evolution into like coming into who I am. I mean, and I look very young, but the show did broadcast my age, really.
No, you do look as young as you think you are.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, it took a while to come
Hmm.
into who I am, but definitely, coming up, I was not like the lead role in the
Hmm.
musicals or anything like
Okay.
that. I was like, I'll do ensemble, I'll stay in the background, and
Hmm.
maybe I'm just meant to write songs and play
Hmm.
piano. I didn't,
Okay.
feel that it was meant for me to be in the front
Hmm.
line. However, my mom does say that, when kids go through that phase where they're like, I'm going to be a firefighter, or I want to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever,
Hmm.
I would say things like, I want to be a poet and a singer.
Oh, that's
And I
lovely.
would say, I want to be a doctor and a singer, or like, a fireman and a singer,
A
but
singer.
always and a singer, even
Singer.
though I lack that confidence to really come forward. And here we are today. I would say, even up to like 5 years ago, I'm a different performer than I was
Hmm.
5 years ago. So I'm a student for life. I know a lot of the
Oh.
coaches said things like, I don't know what I can teach you, but I I know
You
that I'm
always
going to
have a learning
evolve and
curve
grow.
towards your art form. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
always learning about it. That's
always
really
learn.
good. Yeah. So,
Yes, yes.
was this the first time that you auditioned for The Voice? Because it was a 28th season. Most of the contestant I've heard, they have auditioned multiple times, but they
Mhm.
get chance only in a couple of them. So, did you audition before also?
I have and just never got as far as
Okay.
getting on the stage.
Hmm.
hmm
Okay. So,
Probably about five
hmm.
times.
Oh my God, that's like you need a lot of motivation to keep auditioning after that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I started out when maybe I was like 25 or something, and
Okay.
then I would, focus on my career and then come back to it just to see. And I know I sing a
Hmm.
specific type of music,
Hmm.
but the type of music I sing is the root of all the music we listen to.
Yeah.
So, I just thought like blues needs a platform on
Hmm.
this mainstream avenue. And so I'm glad I finally got there.
And how did you feel when you were finally at the stage and singing your the audition song that you sang? It hurt so bad. And like, how did you feel? Were you scared? Were you intimidated? Were you expecting something? How did you feel throughout that performance?
Well, I loved it because I've been singing that song since I was 19.
Okay, yeah.
That's when I took a turn for
Hmm.
loving the blues. It's around
Hmm.
that age, like truly and diving into it. And
Hmm.
yeah, and I think my evolution for how I perform that song has changed over the years. And um yeah, it felt really good. I wouldn't say I was nervous, but my heart was like
Hmm.
pounding so hard. It's
Hmm.
a big deal. And,
Hmm.
I have had a 20-year career
Hmm.
and feel like I've gotten like small rewards, but I haven't gotten my
Hmm.
flowers, as they
Okay,
say,
yeah. Hmm.
in a big way. And so to be, at the time 39. Oh, here's my cat.
Oh my
This
God,
is
he's so
this is
lovely.
Bella the baddie who is being naughty right now. Bella.
That's so lovely.
I know she's good. But she wants me. Okay. She wants me to let her in the
Oh, she
window.
has her business to handle.
Okay, thanks, Bella. Um, yeah. What was I
Oh,
saying?
you were
Oh,
talking
how something
about
was
you not being nervous on the show.
oh yeah, yeah. But obviously it's a big deal. It's a big moment in your
Hmm.
career. It really, when you get to this point and
Hmm.
you're still putting in the hard work. And I just want to say, I don't create or, pour into my art to get an applause, but
Hmm.
when it's not balanced, that it
Hmm.
can start to feel heavy. Like I'm
Okay.
pouring into this art and I feel like I'm not getting the recognition. It's not
Hmm.
balanced. Um, so that moment to me meant a big deal. Like 15 years of
Hmm.
trying to get on the show and
So,
it
and finally being
falling
there.
through. So you get to that moment and you're like, this is make or break here
Hmm.
because do I have the time to do this again, to dedicate my time to
Hmm.
leaving home and,
That's true.
all this filming. And so, yeah, like I felt my heartbeat. I was like, I felt like you could see it beating. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
But none of that later showcased in your performance. You were so confident. It seemed like you were just performing your art. You were so well immersed in that song. You didn't really care about what the outcome might be. You were absolutely enjoying your song out there. That's what your performance showed. And how did it feel when the judges turned their chairs toward you finally after such a
Oh my
long
goodness.
stride?
That was crazy. So yeah, I felt my heart beating. It was like so crazy. And then once I got on stage, once I start performing, I get so grounded and I just feel like I'm at home. This is what I
Hmm.
do. And I think I had some moments where I was like, this was a great moment for them to turn
Hmm.
their chair. And I'm like, and then why didn't they turn their chair? So you have to proceed with the song, perform well, interact with the audience, and have all these thoughts. So we got to the end of my song and I thought, oh my God, they're not going to turn their chairs. I was like, oh
Okay.
God, really? So I was like, I'm going to end the song so strong. And I did practice this. Like, I think I've never seen another artist direct the band from the stage. And so I'm very proud to carry that. I hope I pioneered something for more people. But just for the
Absolutely.
endings, I mean, I
Hmm.
am a band leader, but I was like, let me restrain myself. until the end. And I just held that out a little longer. And I thought the audience was responding to me. I was like, yeah, I did this for the blues. And I didn't even realize that they had turned their chairs.
Oh my God,
I
that's
didn't even know. So I was like, yay, they love it. Like, yeah. And then I look forward and I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, I just changed my lucky stars. Like, yeah,
That's
true.
absolute devotion into that your art form. Like to not realize that the people have turned their chair and you're just bringing out your best, not giving up even until the last moment. That's very inspiring, honestly. So, how did
Mhm.
you feel during the music battle that you had, the performance battle that you had with Marty Riley, I suppose? Yeah.
Yes, Marty, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
how?
became such good friends. Like we had chatted before a little bit, but
Hmm.
there were so many people
Hmm.
the blind, so it's hard to like spend a lot of time. And I'm a very introspective
Hmm.
person, so
Hmm.
I spent a lot of time by myself, like meditating, staying grounded,
Hmm.
trying to not like absorb other people's
Hmm.
energy. And so, but during this battle, Marty and I
Hmm.
just we spent so much time together.
Hmm.
When we found out what song we were doing,
Hmm.
we had never heard that song before. Like
Oh,
neither. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And we we had a rehearsal the next day, like the very next day, like
Okay.
about a like true like 24 hours later. Um and it was just a really beautiful process. One to make such a like
Hmm.
bond with someone that I'm like,
Hmm.
that's gonna be my friend for life, like no matter
Wow.
what. Um and the song evolved
Hmm.
over time. You know, like when you hear the original version, it's a very sad, slow
Hmm.
song. And I'm the type of singer who fills up space,
Hmm.
and Marty's the type of singer who creates space. So I was like,
Okay.
you do what you do best, and I'll do what I do
I do
best. And
this.
that has to be enough, you know? And so we decided to approach it as a team. We're doing a
See,
duet.
truly
We're not battling each other
against
or
each other. Okay.
we had so much camaraderie
Hmm.
doing it, and we really collaborated on like um evolving the
Hmm.
song to something that we could really pour into and be proud of. Yeah.
I mean, it's very evident in the performance as well that you're complementing each other, not exactly competing against each other.
Yeah.
And the song seems like one effort where both of them have put their best foot forward. That's the reason it has come out to be so lovely. It's great to
Mhm.
hear, and it doesn't seem like it's a sad song. And you said that you heard the song for the first time, and in such a short period, you rehearsed the song and put it all such in a lovely way. That's definitely very impressive. And
Thank you.
so, Carly, when your journey at The Voice ended, so how did you feel then? How were you overwhelmed? Were you expecting that your journey could have gone ahead? And how did you feel then?
Yeah. Oh, I was really happy for Marty, but I was feeling a little
Hmm.
devastated because I was like, there's more to do. There's more to
Hmm.
show that I can do.
Hmm.
I just felt like at that stage it was going to be very limited, and people were going to think Carly's just a blues singer and that's all she can do.
Wow.
And I also I walked away from it feeling like I was like, did I mess up? Did I black out and I,
Hmm.
did a bad job or something? Because I didn't really get feedback that was like
Okay.
you did bad.
Hmm.
But I was like, and I was hoping for a save or a steal. And I'm a pretty intuitive person. And I had a dream actually 2 nights before the battle
Hmm.
that I was not going to win. And I had this like sad feeling, all
Hmm.
like I felt betrayed like by my ancestors, and I was mad at them.
Oh.
How dare you do this to me? And then in the dream, I had this do-over, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be a save. Somebody's gonna save me. So
Hmm.
actually, when we were done, I had this like feeling of satisfaction, and I knew that we did so well
Hmm.
together. That was a beautiful moment on the show. And I think up until like right before Carson asked, do you
Hmm.
have anything you want to say to your coach? I was very confident someone was going to save me.
Okay.
And then there was a moment where it was very clear that they were not. And
Okay.
yeah, so that's that.
So how did you like this must have felt very disappointing, your expectation and you having like performed your best out there, but still not getting the desired outcome. How did you bring yourself out of that that sense of disappointment that you encountered there at the show? How did you get back to being the singer, that enthusiastic singer who has this great love for her art form again after the show?
Well, I'm no stranger to rejection.
Okay.
And, I think some people, because I'm a person who like exudes light, is what people
Hmm.
say, right? You feel so much joy from you or
Hmm.
positivity. And when I'm grieving or like processing a loss, people are so quick to say, "No, Carly, you don't be sad. Don't, like
Hmm.
just keep going."
Hmm.
And I think it's important to honor your
Hmm.
real feelings, like honor your grief. Like I'm still
Hmm.
grieving.
All right.
Obviously we filmed that a while ago
Hmm.
and like relived it just last week, and I'm honoring my grief, but I'm still pressing forward. Like I'm going
Hmm.
on tour in France. I know I have this like amazing career,
Hmm.
and that what my fan base like feels. And my cat she's like, "Mommy," you're like,
An
let's
absolute bestie.
bring
Hi.
the face. No.
Oh my gosh,
Hi.
she's so
She's
cute.
cute. Yes. Um, but yeah, it's just like I had so much. I think that's the one of the positive things about being like a decorated
Hmm.
professional musician. You don't have all your eggs in one basket.
Hmm.
I have many things everywhere. So I'm like, well, I would have canceled this tour in France had I proceeded on the show
Hmm.
because you have to weigh your opportunities and
Hmm.
obviously a national television show with
Hmm.
international reach clearly is a big deal, and I've toured Europe before. I can tour Europe again, but this was like
Hmm.
a once in a lifetime opportunity. But I think perhaps it was meant for me this year to make sure I go to France, and I just did a final US tour for the year. So I got home and I basically didn't have time to sob for too long. I just, you just keep going and you have your good days and harder days. But, I think the more I just meditate and like get
Hmm.
ground, come back to myself, I'm still, and after watching it,
Hmm.
because I'd never seen it before. So I was like, I have no clue what this sounds like.
Okay.
And I was like, I must have sucked. Like I must have been so
No, you
awful.
didn't.
Yeah, I was like, wow, you know what? I'm so proud of myself. I'm
That's
so proud of
absolutely
what
good.
I brought to the show. And
Hmm.
save or not, Niall Horan said, I have one of the best voices on the
Hmm.
show. I love that he recognized that in me. I wish my coach had recognized that in me. But uh yeah, and during my blind, he said, I don't know what I can teach you. And Reba said, maybe you can teach me some things.
Oh,
And sometimes I'm like, dang it, why did my pendulum say? I was like, I should have got Reba, you know. And at the blind, you could see my face, like when it like goes no for Reba. I was like, what? No. But yeah, if the reason was that I met Marty, who like we are going to be in each other's network, you know what I mean?
hmm.
If that was the reason, then so be it. And here I am just going forward in my career and rising my own star. So
That's very motivating of you to be so optimistic despite your expectations not really aligning with what you had imagined before and still moving forward, not doubting yourself because you were spectacular. You were very true to your art form and as good as you could have been there. And but it's a competition at the end of the day. There are certain people who win and certain who don't, but that doesn't define your worth, definitely. And that's really good for you to recognize. And so, tell us about your new music album that has come up. I was looking over your internet, your Instagram, and you have a new music album coming up. Tell us more about
oh
it.
Well, so that album was released last August, and when I got to because I have an NDA, when I got
Hmm.
to the location where we
Hmm.
were,
Hmm.
um, uh, probably like a week after I got there, I got a notification from my
Hmm.
distributor saying that
Hmm.
Spotify had flagged one of my songs for having illegal plays, and they were like,
Okay.
please cease and desist any
Hmm.
third party promos promising to get you
Hmm.
plays. And I was like, I haven't paid for any of that. That's crazy. So I was like, this is a mistake. It'll, you know, resolve itself.
Hmm.
And it did not. And instead of taking down the one song, they took down the entire album off of
Okay.
Spotify. So, we filmed the blinds and the battles in front of a live audience,
Hmm.
and I can see Google's like, 60 people are Googling your name right now. I'm sure those people would have wanted to hear my
Hmm.
album. And it wasn't on Spotify, which has a monopoly over like the
Hmm.
streaming game these
Hmm.
days.
Absolutely.
Um, and the analytics they offer artists is good. Anyway, so my album was off of Spotify. Me and my team are like, actually, my team is figuring stuff out because I'm like,
Hmm.
I have to be present here. I
Hmm.
can't deal with this like right now. And so uh anyway, so I think we do the blinds and the album is still up, but it's not on Spotify.
Hmm.
And in order to resolve it, they're like, "Oh, just re-upload it." But I was we the going back and forth once I, could see like um my PR person writing to bots basically,
Hmm.
like we haven't paid for third party. Then we're like, they said that if you have to figure out who put your songs on a playlist that gets illegal plays. And I'm like, so I'm responsible even though I didn't
I
add
didn't do
it.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. And this has happened to a lot of artists now that
Hmm.
I've been through it. I'm finding out. But anyway, I didn't want to go through that distributor again because they both have bots and basically the back and forth was Spotify says it's DistroKid's fault and DistroKid says it's
Okay.
Spotify's fault. So then I had to take the entire album down. So
What?
during a crucial part of my process here, my latest album was not available on any streaming platform.
And there were people who were looking forward to listening to it.
People who were looking forward to listening to it, and basically we had the anniversary pass, which was my
Hmm.
birthday,
Okay.
and the album wasn't available, and I was like, ah! So we actually just got it up
Hmm.
um the week before my blind audition aired. So that was 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
Crazy. So long story, but the album was released in 2024 of August, and it's now back on streaming platforms, and I have it on vinyl, so you can get that on my
Hmm.
website, because vinyl's a hot commodity these days, and the shipping overseas is a little steep, but I do ship overseas for the
That's
vinyl. People are interested. Yeah.
That's very lovely. I mean, this must have been such a big hassle to get your song pulled out, and just for reasons that you're not even aware of. You really don't know what to do, and you need to go through that entire tedious process again. Yet you still made it out there just for the love of your fans. That's very, very inspiring of you. And so, how does your career look now? So, what's there in your basket now?
Well, like I said, touring in France. So we're going to be
Hmm.
touring this album
Hmm.
in France and the Czech Republic and Belgium. And so I'll be back the week before Christmas and I'm gonna
Oh.
relax. And then I'm pouring into my next project, which is a pivot away from the blues scene,
Hmm.
because I'm ready for people to see a different side of me. I always have like surprise Carly-fied songs at my show, so I'll do a
Hmm.
Carly-fied version of Amy Winehouse songs,
Hmm.
or um, even like Motown, and I just put my little stamp on it. And some people have started to cover my versions and not give me credit. So we're doing a Carly-fied album. It's 16 tracks and it's going to be pop songs that I have put a little blues or jazz vibe on, but it's still the pop song people can appreciate. So we've got songs from the 80s, we have songs by Selena, so we've got songs in Spanish. Um, and I'm so excited about pouring into that and presenting a different side of me, especially for my new fans who, might not know how versatile I am. So,
That's very lovely, and all the diversity and all the different music genre that you want to explore, so that you don't box yourself into one identity. That's the I think that's the identity of a true singer, how versatile, how expansive they can be, and that's very good. So, Carly, can we just have a small snippet about for your singing? Any favorite song of your from your album, whatever that you want to put out for your audience?
ooh, favorite. Um, ooh, that's so hard. Okay. So I do this Carly-fied version of a song from the 90s by
Mhm.
Fiona Apple called Criminal.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
it has that very like the one that kind of bass line you
Hmm.
can count on. So, but I make it a little bit jazzy. I've been a bad, bad girl. I've been careless with a delicate man. And it's a sad, sad world when a girl won't break a boy just because she can. Anyway, it's really fun and
No, that
we
was lovely. That was
yeah.
really, that just showed how Carlified you can make songs which might be very different from your expertise. But yeah, that's very lovely. And Carly, it's been such a nice conversation, getting to know about all the hardships you have been through, and yet you are such an optimistic, inspiring, and definitely this very charming personality. And it was so lovely talking to you. And yeah, all the best for your future career.
Thank you so much. You're a great interviewer.
Thank you. Yeah,
And
bye.
it's so lovely to meet you, honestly.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Bye. Take care.
Okay, bye.